What's up, everybody? We're back with another Buttendz Sessions. I'm Rob from Buttendz. I'm back as always with my man Vishal. What's up, Vishal?
Rob, it's so exciting to do this session with you today, especially since we have a special guest on today.
Excited to be back again. We got a special guest in the house. My good friend, all the way over from Slovakia. My man Sebastian Brath is with us. What's up, Sebastian? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining.
What's up, guys? Great to be part of this podcast, and I'm excited to be here and talk to you.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for coming on. We've been talking about doing a podcast together for a while here. For everybody that wants to know, Sebastian, just introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are and where you're from and where you play and stuff like that.
Yeah, my name is Sebastian Brath. I'm from Slovakia. I play for Haka Spiskanoves right now for the junior team. I'm 16 years old, and I'm from here. I'm playing home right now, so it's been really good, and I'm really excited to be part of this podcast and enjoy this with you guys and talk about some great things, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, right on, man. You've been one of the longest ambassadors. I actually met Sebastian. How many years was it? Like 5 years ago, 6 years ago at the Chicago CCM World Invite?
Yeah, I think it was like six years ago. It was probably like 2019 year of the CCM World Invite, and yeah, it's been a long time since.
Dude, tell the story of how we met at the CCM World Invite.
Yeah,
From your perspective.
it was like a crazy thing. I just woke up one day just scrolling Instagram on my phone, and I just saw that Ralph from Buttendz was supposed to be on the same rink as we played. So I hope to see you because I've been using Buttendz quite some time before the tournament, and I was pretty hyped to see you. So I just went to the ring, and there you were in the stand, Buttendz stand, just selling grips, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy some grips, and I would just talk to you and see the different grips and stuff that you did like in the stand. So I just talked to you, and that's how we met basically. And I was pretty interested in the grips and seeing how you apply them on the stick and stuff. So like we talked and we exchanged contacts, and that's how we met basically.
Yeah, I remember the day. And what was cool for me was to even with Buttendz, being able to travel all over and meet teams from, all over the world and to see, was it Slovakia Stars? Was that the name of the team that you were playing on that year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it
Yeah, and you
was
guys,
KB
you guys, I
Stars.
remember
Yeah.
you came over and you already had Buttendz. You were already using the product, and I was
Yeah, it
like,
was
wow, like you're in Slovakia, but you already had the grips. You knew who I was, and I was kind of fascinated by that.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun story because in Slovakia, I was in one tournament in a small town called Ružomberok, and there was like some store in the rink that had like two grips, and I told my dad like, look, that's the grip that's the grip that I saw online, and I want to try it. So he like bought me two of them, and I just tried them, and I liked them, and that was like probably like 2 to 3 months before the tournaments. That was yeah, it
What do you remember where you first heard of Buttendz? Wasn't it? Didn't you tell me something about the Butcher Boys? Like, weren't you a Butcher Boys rule fan?
Yeah, when I was a little kid, like I used to watch YouTube, like Wristy Twisty, Butcher Boys, and all that stuff. So yeah, that was the first time I heard about buttons and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. But it was so cool to meet you, and like your dad was there, and got to meet a bunch of guys from the Slovakia team. And then we stayed in touch, man. And you've been a Buttendz ambassador for so many years, and like you've always been jumping on the live streams. We've done like all kinds of different pieces of content together. And you kept hitting me up, and
Yeah,
you're like, man, you got to come visit in Slovakia. You got to see Slovakia. And I was like, yeah, man, for sure. Like, I'm definitely gonna
yeah,
get there. Like, but time was going by, and we tried to figure out how we would make it work. And it was actually crazy because Vishal and I also were talking behind the scenes, doing stuff. And the couple years ago, we were like, okay, I'm going to India to skate with Vishal. And you and I were still talking, and you're like, hey man, why don't you like slide by Slovakia after you're done with India and hang out for a bit? And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I think we can make that work. And so
yeah,
went to India, skated with Vishal, played in India for like 2 weeks. We were there, right? Right, Vishal? And then instead of going directly back to the U.S., we diverted and went to Europe, and I went to Slovakia and got to hang out with you there and skate and go all over with your family. It was a sick trip, man.
yeah. I think like the main part about us staying in touch was that I was a little annoying kid, and you were the most famous contact in my phone. So I just came up to my friend, like every friend that knew, like, look, I have Ralph from Buttons in my contacts and stuff. So like I tried to stay in touch, so like you kind of remember me and like you know who I am. That's how we like stayed in contact, and then we figured out the Slovakia trip and stuff. Like that was so cool. Like it was so fun showing you the Slovakia and like the places where I used to grow up and where I play and all the rinks because it's so different than the United States, and like that was pretty fun.
Dude, that trip was literally like the whole trip. I mean, going to India and skating there, and then having, the second trip basically to look forward to while I'm in India, thinking about being in Slovakia. But being with you there and your family, and like the way you welcomed me and brought me with you to meet your team, and we traveled to a bunch of different spots, and we played. I played with you and your dad on, I forget where we were, in Spitska, or where were we, Nitra?
Yeah, the town that I play in right now, that my hometown. Yeah.
Yeah, so just traveling around, eating the food, the local food, seeing the hockey culture in Slovakia was so sick for me. Like you said,
Yeah,
and we'll get into it in a little bit because during that time, during that journey, you and I talked a lot about your dreams as a player and you wanting to get over to play in North America as a goal of yours. And we talked a lot about that. And so, what led you to as a Slovakian hockey player? Have you always had a dream of wanting to be playing in North America? What's it like for you?
I think like the main part of me being like, I think I'm a pretty like ambitious kind of kid that always looks for the best and wants to be the best. Like, why be normal when you can be the best? That's what my dad always used to tell me. So like when I look up to everything that's like best in hockey, like hockey in general, hockey, I take it as United States. Like the best hockey is played in the United States and Canada. So that's why I wanted to like go there and try to experience the other part of hockey. Like, I think when I and also like when I went to United States, I think it just pushed me to be better and not just a better hockey at hockey, but like be a better person and just kind of separate me from my family and be a better person. All this, I think I kind of grew up there a little bit more than I here in Slovakia. That so like it has that's why I wanted to go to the United States just to be better at hockey, and also I think my parents wanted me to be a better person and kind of grow up a bit. So I think that was the main
Let's
part.
let's back up just a little bit here. So when I was in Slovakia with you a couple years ago now, it was like 2 to 3 years ago, we talked about this, and I was talking with your family about your dreams and aspirations of moving to the U.S. to move away from home and play hockey basically in North America. And at the time, it was like you were still a bit young, and even now you're 16, and you had opportunities this year. So tell everybody what happened. So you played last year in Slovakia, and then the summer comes around, and you've got these opportunities to move to the United States to play. How did that all come about? And tell us the story of what happened.
Yeah, so the it's kind of a crazy story because I played in the U18 Slovakian league here in Slovakia last season, and like the U18 in Slovakia here is kind of moved because the ages are kind of switched. It's not as you in the US, like 07s and 06s are playing the U18s, but like it's three age groups in one group. It's sevens and 06s are playing the U18. And I wanted to go higher. I wanted to play something better because I knew that like the U18 next year for me is not gonna be good enough. And like I don't know if I'm gonna like develop properly when I'm gonna be playing the U18 level. So I kind of wanted to experience something new and just move on and trying to find something better. And then I work out in the summer with the guys. It's from Total Hockey Management. Rob, you met him, and they kind of try to figure some place to play in the United States, and we found Cleveland Barons, and from there, like I had such a crazy experience living there because it was so tough, and like the whole United States part was so crazy, like that it's a long story. Like I got there and like it was a good team, like good art. I think Rob, you played for him. You told me that you played for him back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I played for the Cleveland Barons when I was a junior hockey player. When I was 19, I played in the North American Hockey League. I got traded to Cleveland basically halfway through my junior season and finished the year there, and I got a scholarship to play at Merrimack the season after. So I played half a year there. And then I had like you and I, we had talked about it, like, because before that, like the summer before, we were talking about what would be the good fit for you to come over to play. But you and found Cleveland guys through Total Hockey Management, right? And
Yeah,
secured a spot there, and it was just like super ironic, right? Like we were talking, but we both ended up playing for the same organization.
yeah.
But yeah, so what was it like? Like you got to the team, and what happened with Cleveland?
I got there, and from the start, I kind of knew like it's not gonna be good because like when I got there, I met a really good, really nice guy. His name is Ryan Stagmeyer. He was the second assistant coach of the 16s team. I love that guy. Like he made a place in my heart. Like he took care of me like I was his own child. And when I got to the airport, he picked me up and my friend from the airport because he was going to play for the U15s. I was going to play for the U16s, and they picked us up from the airport. And as soon as I got to the car, he asked me like, you're gonna play for the 18s," and I said like, "No, I'm supposed to play for the 16s." So it was kind of messed up. So I kind of knew from the start that I was not gonna be at the right place because I think they kind of messed it up and took some other. We just had a lot of imports, so I think they brought up more imports than they should, and they just sent me to the play U18s. And it was all good because I played with older guys. I got a lot of experience, but like it was from the start of the season. Some of the guys from the last year that were in the team, like the Cleveland Barons U18, they moved to NAW and all that bigger junior leagues.
Yeah.
And it was just the start of the season. So none of the guys got cut from the start of the season. But as the season moved on, like some of the guys got cut and they were sent back to U18 Cleveland Barons. So they didn't have a spot for me because I was the youngest on the 18 squad. So they just told me like, look, you're gonna be playing, but you're not gonna have enough minutes you're not gonna have minutes that you earn and that you're supposed to have. So they just told me like, look, it's gonna be more sufficient and more like it's gonna be better for you when we find you a U16 team where you're gonna be playing and where you're gonna be developing and getting more ice time that with us. That part was kind of like if I didn't have my dad in there, like in United States with me, like it would be so much worse. Like, I had to like because I was so pumped to go to the United States and they just sent me off to another team. I don't know where was I going. So I pretty much experienced junior hockey from the start. I don't know if I can say but like, yeah, maybe I got cut from the team.
Which was crazy, especially because you're there as a 16-year-old. You know what I mean? It's not like you're 18 or
Yeah,
20 and the junior
yeah,
level. You're playing at the younger level. Like 16 is a young guy to be moving away across, not just moving away from home. You're talking about moving from Europe to the United States. You know what I mean? Your second language, like
yeah,
in a faraway land, and like not for things not to go great for you. I think is inspiring in a way, man, because the way you handled your business there. You know what I mean? From like I was there, with your dad when things were kind of going,
yeah,
you're told to be played on the U16s. Next thing you know, you're on U18s and you're not really sure what's going on, where's it going to end up. To see your dad there was like, actually, it was nice, to be there with you guys when your dad was helping you. And just to see how much he cared about you and like, you were able to figure your way out of Cleveland, right? And then what happened after
yeah.
that? Where'd you end up?
I moved to Massachusetts. It was Albany, New York. Um, in a small town called Pittsfield. It was by Albany, probably like an hour ago. From Albany, the small town was like hour from there. So it's called Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
So what was it like? What was it like, man, packing your bags in Cleveland and going to the
Oh,
airport
it
and
was
flying to a strange team? You have no idea where you're going.
yeah. I was at that time. I was in a billet family, and they were called Santiago's, and they were so nice. Rob, you know them. They were
Oh yeah,
such a good
I got to
people.
meet the Santiagos when I was in Cleveland. They were great. They're great.
Yeah, such a good people. I got like it was so sad for me, and I was so down from it because like I had to pack my bags from day to day, and I had to leave just like that. Just snap my fingers and I was gone. I just packed I just came from the rink when the coach told me like he gonna go to the other team. I just packed my bags and just had to leave. And my family like they didn't know. They just came down the stairs, look at my packed bags, and I just told them. They straight up hugged me, and like the mom cried for a little bit with me.
Man,
So like it was pretty sad, but like, I had to move on and, go
well, you're
from
getting
there.
you're getting and you got like a really good hard lesson. Obviously, as a hockey player, a lot
Yeah.
of times it doesn't always go great for hockey players, and you don't end up on a team where it's all works out great. You're on first line and things are amazing. You went through some serious adversity, obviously coming over to the U.S., taking your moving your whole life to play for a new team, and now things aren't going great. So then, you just how did you stay positive throughout this environment?
I think the person that kept me going and just kept me on positive thoughts was my dad, because like he he always said good stuff to me, and like, don't worry, it's gonna be okay and all that stuff. So I think that was the person that kind of held me at that time. But also, like, I think I'm a pretty strong-minded person. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm confident. So like, I think that also I kind of knew my way around and just kind of tried to figure out what's going on. And because like at that time, I didn't really settle into US at all. Like, I was just there for probably a month or two.
Yeah,
So it was
seriously.
just all kind of new for me. I didn't really know what's going on, to be honest. So I was just trying to figure out what's going on, I would say.
And
And just kind of,
that's tough when you're getting bounced around. It's one thing to move to a new team, right? Where you're like in a new country, in a new place where things are
yeah.
secure, but you're getting bounced around. You're not really quite sure. What was your like now that you can look back at? So you're back in Slovakia. You're playing. Where are you playing right this minute?
I'm playing junior hockey in Slovakia for the U20s Piscanoves team. That's the hometown that we've been to. You
Okay.
remember the shoveling video?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I remember.
that's the city. And
Okay.
I'm playing junior league. I'm home. I think that's a really good part of playing, being that I'm being home. Like, I missed home so much when I was in the United States, and I don't think that's the part that got me out of the United States, but I think that's the part that I missed the most, I would
What,
say.
like just being home, being with your family?
Yeah, just being around my mom, and I think it was that's why I'm saying, like, when I got kind of cut from the team, if I didn't have my dad there, I wouldn't be like, I don't think I would handle it as good as I did. And like, also, it's nowadays it's good because I can call my mom anytime. I can do FaceTime with my mom. I can talk to her, but like, it's
Yeah.
not the same. But it's better. It's like, it's good. But
So
you know,
looking back on your experience coming over to the US, playing for multiple teams, and then you had facing adversity, you're back in Slovakia. What would you say is like your reaction to it? Like how do you feel like how would you describe your year? What do you think you gained from it?
I think I gained more to me as a person than as a hockey player, because I think I moved on. I think I can take care of myself uh much more than I could when I was in Slovakia full time, like when I didn't go to the United States. So I think it moved me personally more than a hockey player. I think that's the best, and I'm happy about it, because like that's the part that I was missing when I was in Slovakia, because I was always around my mom. Like, my mom did stuff for me, and now like I come home, I see dirty dishes, I put them on. Like, I take care of myself right now.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about life experience, man. I mean, that's really what it's about. Like you said, you could have stayed home and been comfortable and just chilled out, but you
Yeah,
went off
yes,
and basically took your show on the road and traveled all over the US, and you really got to experience hockey in North America. But we talked about this behind the scenes, man. Like you're not done, right? Like your plans, your goals are to make it to the top levels of hockey, and obviously that might include back to the US, back to North America. Where do you see your future? What are you planning on doing from here?
I don't really know right now, because every single door is open, and I have ways to go, but I don't really know where to go. If something doesn't work out here in Slovakia, I will go to back to United States, play. I'm the thing that I said, like, I don't think it's good for me when I'm going to the United States and not gonna be playing juniors. Like, when I'm going to the United States, I wanna go and play juniors, but right now I'm in a place where I play juniors that are higher quality than U18s and U16 AAA.
Yeah.
So I think I'm in a really good spot right now where I'm playing with 20-year-olds. Like they just also like they give me so much experience, and like they kind of coach me in a way because they are older, they have much more experience. They played for the seniors, so like they push me also, and I think that's the good part of playing with older guys. So when I don't think I'm gonna be going to United States if the junior door doesn't open there. And I think I have some pretty good stuff here in Slovakia, and we'll see. I might play for the like I hope I will get called up to the national team and all that. So yeah, I'm working on that. I'm hoping that it's gonna go great. And
I
you know,
mean, honestly, Sebastian, it's really exciting for me to hear you talk this way. It's very inspiring, especially because, dude, you're so young too. I mean, you could play junior hockey until the U.S. until you're 20, 21 years old almost.
yeah.
And you've already, came over, you got that great experience, obviously battled adversity, came back, you're playing in Slovakia, you're, like you said, you're playing with older guys. You're really leveling up your game and your life too. So that's awesome, man. I think you're doing a great job, but keep it up. I think that's, it's a great thing what you're up to.
Yeah, that's always nice to hear from you.
What were some of your first impressions about moving over from Slovakia to the USA and like living there? Like, what would you say something that sticks out in your mind?
Like the best part, or
Yeah,
like
what was the best part that you thought about living in the USA? And then what was like, I'll ask you the hockey question next, but what do you think was like the most impactful thing that you noticed that's different from being like a 16-year-old in Slovakia compared to the US?
in hockey or general, like life?
Just let's do general. What do you think just in general first?
Food.
The food is different.
A lot different. Like
In a
food
better
in the
way,
United
or what do you
States,
think? In a good way or a bad way?
like I don't know, because in the United States, as you said, you can eat healthier or you can eat bad stuff. So like it's on you what route you choose. But it's always like when you're on the road with the team or stuff, like we were
Oh
in
yeah.
Detroit and I was calling you like, Rob, I don't know what to eat because you told me like this is junk, and this is junk. And
Yeah, sorry,
that
man.
like
Everything is
these
junk,
are
bro.
yeah, like these are my only options. So I don't know what to get. Like I have Chipotle, I have Jersey Mike's, that's probably it. So like I have McDonald's and that's all. So like I don't know what to choose and I don't know what to get. So like can you help me? Or so that was part. But I had the best memory from United States in terms of food. I would say going to Roadhouse with you, because Roadhouse is sick. I
Oh,
miss
that's right.
Roadhouse
With
so
me, you,
much.
and your dad did steaks at the Roadhouse after in Cleveland.
I miss Roadhouse so much. That
Yeah, that
place
was a
is
fun time. So what would you say is the biggest difference for a hockey perspective between playing hockey in Slovakia and then the guys that play hockey grew up playing in North America?
hockey in the United States is, I would say that hockey in Europe and in the United States is a complete different sport. Like it's in the United States, it's more physical. It's not as skill wise as like in Europe, because also you have smaller rinks, you have narrower rinks, and like it's you have to do quicker decisions that you have to hear, and like it's all quicker. Everybody is just finishing their checks, and it's like it's a harder, tougher sport there. And here in like in Europe in general, not just Slovakia, where you have the bigger rings, more wider. Like you can hold the puck for a little bit more. You can think about something else when you have option. Like it's more kind of like it's also fast. I'm not saying it's slow, but like it's kind of more skill wise, not as hard, like not as much hits, and like it's kind of different.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference in between United States and Europe in general.
Right on, man. So I was thinking about this too, man. Like one of the things that we talked about when you were going through your tough times this year, we know with some of the different teams and stuff is like you got like a really fast education, what it's like to be a hockey player when you get older. You experience it, like as a younger kid than most players do. But, be honest with you, man, like when you get older, most players go through a lot of adversity, especially when you get to the junior level. Like I mentioned, dude, when I was playing junior, dude, I had to do the same thing, except I was older. But I had to go and like pack my bags and like leave a team basically and then get traded midway through the season. I ended up in Cleveland. but you ended up having to do the same thing as a younger kid. And I think it's a good education, and it's important for people to hear that as well, because you have to prepare for it, because it can be very challenging, as you know, like where you're unsure where you're going to be going, you have to leave and move around. But as a hockey player, you're kind of like meat on the hook as a player, especially when you get older. You get into the pro level, like I don't care. Like you get cut and you got to go get in your car and figure it out yourself. So for you to
Yeah.
figure that out now as a younger dude, it was unfortunate in some ways, but man, what an education for you as well. What do you think?
I think like the most thing about me that I learned there, and just like kind of that I didn't have a clue about when I came there first, was how to fly. Like that was my only like biggest worry like that I had.
Like in the airplane? Like in the airport?
Yeah, like I packed my bags and I called my dad because I already had some teams that wanted me, because the coach from Cleveland also helped me and stuff. So like I had the coach lined up, and I just talked to them, and they said like, come up here whenever you're ready. Like the earlier is the best. So like I just packed my bags, and the next day I bought a ticket, and I didn't know how to fly like on a plane. No clue. Like I just came straight up to the airport, and I just looked on the board, some numbers, some stuff, some time. I didn't know anything. So like I had to figure that out and move around with that, because when I've flown back home for Christmas also, like that was really challenging part, but I think that was the most fun part about all of that. And like I'm proud that I learned how to go and hop on a plane wherever I want. So
Yeah, you became like a global world traveler amongst all this chaos and adversity as well. Hey, so while you mention it, I know we can end on this topic, but you got to tell the story, okay? So you went home for Christmas, and then
oh,
you got recruited to play
God.
for your junior team, and you had all your stuff was back in New York, right?
Yeah, that
So,
was so
dude,
crazy.
tell
So
the
crazy.
story of how you were able to leave Slovakia, go back and get all your stuff and in New York, and then head back to Slovakia. What was that trip like?
Yeah, I think it was so crazy. Okay, I just packed my bags in New York, flown back for Christmas. I landed in Vienna, and my sister, my dad, and my mom came up to the airport as always. Like they are there when I'm flying, and they just asked me a bunch of questions. Also, like they were excited to be with me and all that stuff. And I had my passport in my hand, so I sit into the car, and I was showing my sister, like, look, that's my visa and all that stuff. And she was like, oh wow, like that's good. And I forgot where I put the passport. I got home, and we had all the Christmas dinner, like Christmas stuff, and I forgot my passport. I don't know where. I had no clue where my passport was, so I lost my passport during Christmas break, and like waiting for visa is such a long time. And in the meantime, when I lost my passport, I got recruited for the junior team in here, because I was practicing with them while I was here for Christmas break. So they just like wanted me to play for them, but I didn't have all my stuff. Like my stuff was left in the US. Like that was so crazy. I didn't have anything here. Just one bag full of clothes, and that was it. And I have full goalie bag in the United States, so I had to go get it. I just I did it with my sister basically. I just applied for I think it's ESTA,
Oh,
because
you
I
had to
didn't
go.
have
You
my
had to get a new
passport.
visa. You had to get a new visa to go
No,
back to get your stuff.
I made a new passport. I
Oh, you
have
lost your
my
other
dad
one.
has yeah, I lost my passport, and I had to make a new one, because my dad has contacts in the passport kind of. I don't know, he has some contacts on the where the passports are made, and they made me a passport in 3 days. So I had to make a passport, apply for ESTA, because I lost my passport with my visa.
Oh man.
So I kind of figured that out, made a ESTA on my new passport, flown to the United States. I flown through Istanbul. Like that was just 48-hour trip. I didn't sleep. It was just
And this is you're by
I
yourself, right? You're by yourself.
yeah, all alone. I just woke up, drive to the Vienna airport. I flown to Istanbul, New York City, no, it was Istanbul, Washington, D.C. I remember I called you from I think it was I don't know what's the airport called, but I called you in Washington, and we just talked for 20 minutes about what I'm doing because I didn't like I was just hopping on planes at that time. So I just hopped from Washington, flown to Albany. Uh, I I came to Albany and probably it was sometimes around 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. It was probably like 1:30 a.m. And I had my roommate, and my roommate texted me because like the coach that I played for, he kind of didn't like that I left. So like he texted me like, bro, they took your mattress, and I'm like, you can't be serious. So I just opened the room and I see all my blankets just being on top of the bed frame with no mattress. So I was so tired I didn't even like recognize anything. I just put the bedding sheets on the floor and I laid on the floor, slept for 4 hours probably, not even, probably like 3 hours and 30 minutes. So I had to wake up around 6 a.m. to pack. Because at that time I'm not gonna pack at 2 a.m. Like I'm tired. Like I want to go to sleep. So I slept for three hours and 30 minutes probably, and I woke up. I packed all my stuff with my phone flashlight on because I didn't want to wake up my teammates on this on like they were sleeping in the same room, and we were three in the same room, and I didn't want to wake them up, so I just turned my flashlight on my phone and just started packing. Just threw everything into my bag. I probably forgot something in there. I don't really know because I was not in that moment. I was probably sleep dreaming at that time. So I just threw all my stuff in the bags, just packed. And at 7 a.m., they picked me up, drove me to Albany Airport, and that's where the fun begins. I just went to the Albany airport. They said the flight's been canceled due to weather because it was snowy, like all the snowstorms. So I had to reschedule, and I had flights. I had flight from Albany to New York and New York to home. So I had another flight in between. So I didn't have much time. So I had to reschedule another flight that would like connect me to that same flight. So it was all messed up. I just went to the I don't know, what was it, front desk or something, and I just told them like, look, I have to go because I'm playing game in 2 days and I have to be home next day because I need to practice with my team because I'm gonna be playing the next game. So can you please find me a flight that will get me home? So I figured that out somehow, and I flown from Albany to New York. They canceled my flight in New York also, so I had to figure that out also. And I came home I at probably like 7 a.m. I practiced with my team from probably like 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. and next day I played game. So like it
Dude,
was crazy.
that's epic, bro.
Crazy
Did you
road
sleep for
trip.
a full day after that or what?
Nah, I slept probably for 12 hours, but like I probably had on my Whoop, I have a earliest bedtime. It was around p.m. because straight after practice, I came home and I just dead completely.
Unbelievable, bro. Like, well, hey, man, it's inspiring to hear. I'm interested to hear. I want to know. I have a question for you. What advice would you give other players like yourself who want to move away from home, whether it's European kids or even just like U.S. kids that want to move away and play for a different team? Like, what's some advice that you would give to them, knowing what you know through your experience?
If you are not playing in the United States, make sure or like I'm gonna do that when I'm going go to the United States for the next time because when I was going there this season, they didn't see me play. Like they don't know how I play and they didn't know if I would fit to the team. They didn't see me play. They just saw my highlights and that was all. So I would suggest someone that wants to go to play United States or somewhere, go there like before the season, show up, meet the coaches, meet the staff, meet the people, see how they are. Cause I met some really good or really bad guys during my journey in the United States. And like I would give an advice to any hockey player that's trying to go play. Just go there and show up and meet the guys and try to like see how the team is, and like trying to figure out your way around the team and see if you're gonna be good, like you're gonna be good or you're not gonna fit right to the team. So I think that's the advice that I would give to players. Just go there and show up and look like, let the coach see you in real life.
That's good advice, man. I also want to know, dude, like, where do you see yourself playing? Like, where do you see your path from here? So you're 16, you're in Slovakia. I know you and I have talked about playing college hockey, eventually playing pro hockey. Like, what's the ideal path for you going forward?
I would like, I don't want to sound being like too confident or anything, but like also as an yeah, I'm a big dreamer, and I always shoot for the highest. So like I would like to go to play college. I don't care what college. Like I'm a big Michigan fan, so like I would love to go to Michigan. But if it's not Michigan, like I don't care what college. I just want to have a good education and good hockey. And from there on, I want to play the highest as the possible I can go. Like I
Yeah.
want to like goal that I want. Of course, like NHL is my dream, always been in my head. But if not NHL, like I want to reach the highest potential that I can. Like I want to be the best version of myself. I would say that.
That's a great answer, man. It's unbelievable. I think we have a few. Man, this was great to have you on, bro. You did a great job telling your story. Vishal, I think you have a few questions, also too, some rapid fire questions you want to take a shot at here,
Yeah,
Sebastian?
before we go to the rapid fire question, man, you have some great stories to tell about your trip to the U.S. and especially how you managed to get your stuff back. I mean, staying in the U.S., going back only for a few hours, sleeping those few hours, and then coming back. That was a great story to hear. Also, too, you said you want to go to college. You don't care about what college you go to. You just want to get a good education and play good hockey. That's great. I want to ask you about that. How important do you think it is for you to have a great education? I want to hear it from a 16-year-old Sebastian perspective, because I had a different perspective when I was 16. So that's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I think sometimes when I get a lot of homework or sometimes like my mom tells me to like do some stuff, I always tell her like, look, I'm gonna be a hockey player. I don't need that. But like in general, I always have it in my mind that like, what if something doesn't work out? You always need some plan B. So like that's the stuff that always my mom and my dad used to like. I wouldn't say punch, but they try to like get that to your head. Like you have to have that in your head. Like that's the like you have to have a plan B. There's if plan A doesn't work out, you have to have a plan B. So and plan B, you're not gonna have a good plan B without school. So like be hard on your education as you are hard on your hockey. So
That's sick,
that's what
man.
they
Also,
used to tell me.
use hockey to get to what you want for education.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
think going to college is such a great goal. It's funny too. You guys both had similar. I was just thinking about it. Had similar sort of experiences. I mean, Vishal, you came to the United States in high school as well. It's kind of interesting to hear from both of you guys. As somebody who's from the U.S., but both of you guys traveled in to be experience it.
Yeah, funny thing is, I was also 16 when I went to the U.S. I was also all alone. It was also my first flight out of India by myself. So that's interestingly similar that we've had. And then you know what? You know what's also funny, Rob? You were talking about the route that you took. You came to India first from the U.S. and then you flew into Vienna and then you drove to Slovakia.
Yeah,
And funny thing is, the following year, I took the exact same route. Flew into Vienna and then drove to
I know.
Slovakia. And I got to watch Sebastian.
that was crazy. Like I didn't really. My dad just showed me your Instagram story. Like, look, he's in Slovakia, and I think he just contacted you or something. Like, you just gotta get into your DMs, and all of a sudden you're on my game, and I'm like, I didn't really. I just saw you from like Rob's videos, so like it was such a crazy experience. I think you were on your best friend's wedding or something, right?
Right.
So it was fun.
What a small
Like
world! Isn't that crazy? Like, what a small world to have that exact experience. Like,
I have a question. What do you say? Is Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola? What is
Full any day.
that's a good answer. That's what I like to hear.
Man, it's been 2 years since I was in Slovakia. Almost 2 years. I've missed Schnitzel and Kafola. If I should
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, that's classic.
Such a great meal. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get to rapid fire questions, Sebastian. Tell me, what's your favorite pregame meal?
Pre-game meal. I don't really have a certain pre-game meal, but like chicken with rice, I would say. That's what I'd like. My mom is always experiencing with me like that. She puts me on a health stuffers, but I'm just always telling her like, give me meat and rice, and that's the best thing that I can get before a game.
That's great. And do you have any pregame rituals or any superstitions that you follow?
Yeah, I would like before the game, when everyone is tapping their sticks, like the teams. So we tap the sticks, and I'm always standing on the right circle, like on the right side where the referees are here. I'm standing on the right side. I do a circle around the right circle, tap the center ice, and go to the goalie. And when we go and like get fist bumps to the goalie, I always go last, and I tap him on both pads, and I just give him a header and go. That's my go-to. That's what puts me into game mode.
Wow.
Nice one.
And who's your all-time favorite hockey player?
Patrick Kane.
Showtime.
Can't lie that. Oh yeah.
Was it the Patrick Kane and Chicago Blackhawks, or is it now?
Yeah, but now I'm a Detroit fan.
Oh, you stay with Kane.
Because Patrick Kane, I'm sticking with Kane. I can't lie. It's like my dad is a true heart Blackhawk, but you know I'm a true heart Kaner. And when Kaner is playing in other team than Hawks, I'm going to the other team. I don't care.
So if you were gonna have a line mates, obviously one of them you're gonna have Kaner, and who would be your other line mate?
All time or players that are playing right now?
Let's go all time.
All time. I would be on the right wing, so Kaner on the left. I would say. I would put oh, that's a tough question because you have so many good centers. Like you have McDavid, you have Crosby. You know what? I would probably put Crosby on the center.
Yeah, there you go.
Left D, I would do Big Buff. Left D.
Big Bufflin, eh? He wants some defense out there. He wants somebody to protect him in
Yeah.
the corners. I didn't
And,
expect that one.
And right D probably is Dan Ochara.
Wow, big boys back there. What about
Oh
goalie?
yeah. Goalie. If you would ask me this question, probably in 2019, I would say Corey Crawford, but right now I would probably put Fleury in the net in his prime.
Fleury in
Like
his prime.
when he played, yeah, Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, probably that. Or
I was gonna ask you that. Who is that? Who you emulate your game after, Marian Hossa style?
yeah, I think I have some. I think the most of my game I take from him, but like also I have some other guys that I like look to, but you know, the way that he played, like yeah, that's probably what I'm looking up most.
Yeah, one of the things I love about your game, obviously your skills, your offense. That's what forwards are supposed to do, score. But what I love about your game is you got a little snarl too, bro. One of the
Yeah.
things I want, and I know like we talked about this, finishing your checks. You're always a guy like looking to line somebody up. I want to walk me through that play that you had when you were playing for Cleveland. I was behind the net. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
I'm like sending videos to your dad, right, from the game. And the defenseman goes and makes a play, and you finish the check. Walk me through that play.
Like it was like right now when I'm playing, we play a hard forecheck, and I was in Slovakia general. I always played a system where it's hard forecheck. I was the forechecking guy as always. Like I'm hard on forechecks, and like I saw D going by the net right in front of you, and you had the camera point on, and I was like, God, am I supposed to do this? And I was just going. I didn't really care. And I'm not gonna lie, the hit was like it was so late, like. But like, what am I gonna do? Like, am I gonna just go around the net and not do anything? Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, you know.
Oh, I know,
If I'm
especially because
going
at the time
there,
it was like kind of in the middle of when they were giving you a hard time too, right? Like with Cleveland and like you
yeah,
weren't even
like
getting a lot of playing
when
time
I'm
and like
going,
I was like, yeah, get on the
yeah,
score sheet, kid, that away.
when I'm gonna see a kid going behind the net, just standing, not in his stance or anything, I'm gonna go straight through him, and that's what I did. It
Yeah,
was
you finished
late.
your check,
It
man, and
was
that
it
video, bro,
was
that video is still blowing up, man. It's like got like
I
20,000
know,
likes on
like,
Instagram.
because
It's like,
everybody is raging about it being so late, and I know it's late. It was called a penalty, of course, but like I'm not gonna just go around the net. Like, come on, like
you
you
had
know.
that big hit in the game, then you had the big goal too on the shorthanded goal, the breakaway,
Yeah,
and you
that
stole the
I
puck.
have a really good story to that goal because I told the coach, like, put me on the PK, I'm gonna score. He was like, okay, go to the PK, and if you don't score, you have 10 push-ups on the bench. We were winning by 7 probably. And at that time, I think he didn't really care. So he put me on the PK. I went there. My friend Chris Lundy, he just soft me the puck. I just go. I saw a guy coming. He just slashed me on the shin pads. I just kind of tucked it into the net. And he kind of like when I stood up, he kind of finished the check. And I was like so hyped because I scored a goal in such a long time. So he just kind of pushed me on the boards and he looked me dead and died. And I was screamed at him so much. And
I love, man, that
I
one felt
made
so
fun.
good. Because
Yeah,
I got that video and like I remember I saw the emotion that you had, and it was
yeah, that
that
one
was a
felt
highlight for me to
so
see you
good.
score that goal in Cleveland too. That was awesome, man.
Bro,
Are
Yeah,
you
was
doing
this
it was
bro? Are you doing
good.
cage or fishbowl?
Cage.
You used to be fishbowl.
Yeah, but you know, everybody's saying like everybody's using fishbowl now because of Bedsy, and I like, you know, I'm the real OG. Like I'm not copying Bedard, you know, like I was the real OG with the fishbowl, you know. But
Especially when,
you
hey,
know, it
remember when
kind of
I was in Slovakia and you played up with the I don't remember if it was the U18s or who, but you skated with the older team, and one of the dudes put you into the wall head first, and you buried your lip, man. That was sick, man. We had to go. I had to take you to the hospital for stitches. Remember that?
But you know, that was a great, like, that was a really, really great memory because, like, that was the 18 team. I played for the 16 back then. I came up to the 18 team and I remember I was going to the corner for a puck because we played a short game and like 2 nets. And I was going to the corner. I just looked one corner, like one side, and I didn't look to the other one. And from the other one, we had like a big fat guy on the team and I didn't realize he's going against me on that on that round. So I didn't look there. I just took the puck and I made a mistake. I waited for a little bit longer. I should, and I got buried from behind. I bit my lip. I think I bit through my lip, and I had to get like 4 stitches. And like it was so crazy. I went to the locker room. Rob was standing there with the phone. I'm like, Dad, like, come on, I have my lip is like destroyed. And
Blood
he was like,
everywhere, covered in the mask.
yeah, like oh
Unbelievable.
yeah, like and the coach was like, do not spit it on the ice. Do not spit it on the ice. There are parents in the stands. And I'm like, okay, okay. I just keep the low and I just washed my mouth for probably 10 minutes under cold water and that was like it was crazy. Then we drove to the hospital. They got me stitched up. And I had a lip like a I don't know, like a do you know the big bird that has like the I don't know, like the big throat? Like I had that was my
Toucan.
lip. Like oh
Yeah,
god, yeah, like that was my lip. Like it was all swollen up. Yeah, so that like that was crazy.
great memory, man.
Yeah,
So
that
sick,
was
man. So
crazy.
what do you have left? How much season do you have left over there? You got what's
We're
going on?
playing last 2 games and then we go into the playoffs and we'll see how we do there.
How's the team doing for the playoffs?
We're doing good. We're doing good. I think we have a pretty strong team for this year, and like I think we can accomplish something good.
Well, there you go,
So
man.
we'll
I mean,
see.
I'm excited to hear your playoff push. What a season it's been for you, accomplishing a goal, moving to the U.S., facing adversity, bouncing around a little bit. Now you settled into a good team back in Slovakia, and the sky's the limit, man. I think it's real inspiring to hear your story. I really appreciate you coming on Buttendz Sessions and sharing it with everybody here.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah, that was great,
Anytime,
man.
boys.
Yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for coming on, Sebastian, Vishal. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I think it's a great show, and looking forward to hearing how the season turns out for you, bro.
Of course. We'll stay in touch.
what a
All
great
right.
session tonight, boys.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Buttendz Sessions. Big thanks, Sebastian Brath, tuning in all the way over from Slovakia. Wishing you the best. Buttendz Ambassador, man. Really, really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
All right. Take care.